Hey everyone, welcome back to Carrots and Olives. My name is Brittany, and in today's video we are going to go into my Spek collection. So I really like the Spek boxes. Just want to show you, if any of you are new, this isn't an unboxing, but this is the box that your planner comes in, or your leather good, and it is pretty sturdy, and I just really like the black with the gold embossing. Anyway, let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is start off with my very first Spek, and this is my codex, and it's currently being it's not being used. This is the black ostrich codex. It's called a codex on their website because it's just like an insert for your notebook. And this is what I was using for the Hobonichi weeks. This is the Hobonichi mega size, which I think is a little bit wider than the standard size. And this is what I was housing my Hobonichi weeks in for months. I really love how durable the ostrich print is, and just to feel the like pebbling of and the texture of the leather is really nice. And then you don't really get that color differentiation in the black ostrich. So the inside is the Acacia Napa color, and then I got the Acacia Napa stitching on the outside, and then on the corners of the inside. Then I got black stitching. So I switched the colors for the stitching, and I really like this. This has lasted me for months, and I was throwing it in my bag, using it every single day, taking it out. It has been like really really used, and you can kind of tell just a little bit. It's still in like really good condition. There's just a little bit of something there. I think I can just wipe it off. But yeah, I mean, this has served me really well, and when I'm ready to jump back into it, I know it will serve me again very well. One of the things I wanted to try were some other covers for my Hobonichi, but then also one of the things that was worrying me is the credit cards that I was using, because this was also being used as my wallet. So you may be able to tell how the credit card slots were kind of getting stretched out because I had like everything in here. This was my wallet. But yeah, so this was the codex in the Mega Weeks size. So next, I'm going to start off with this one. After I bought the codex, I was really excited because I really liked it. So I bought a bunch of leather samples, which I have another video on my channel of those leather samples. And that kind of helped me determine what other leathers I wanted to try. But another thing I wanted to try was their Touch Me line. And this was one of their Touch Me. This is the Noir, which is the black Touch Me leather, and it is a buffalo leather, which means that it is very sturdy. It doesn't really scratch or make a lot of dents in it that you can see. It's one of the leathers that you could throw around everywhere and you won't really see anything on it. So let me zoom in a little bit. So this size, as you may be able to tell, is pretty tiny. So in VDS language, this is a junior. Everything you see here is what you get. So you cannot customize a Touch Me. They are already made planners. They typically ship pretty quickly. And so this is equivalent to a pocket. You do get a zipper. You do get an inside pocket here, a secretarial flap on this side as well, and then a big back pocket. You also get a pen loop. So you pretty much get everything you need at a very great price. This has like the shebang. If you wanted to go with your own leather, that's when the price kind of increases, like your own customized leather with different color on the inside and different color on the outside and different stitching, different type of pocket configuration on this side. That's when price jumps and it's not as easy for VDS to just rip out and send to you. It does take some time. And if you have time, definitely make that an option for you. But if you don't, this is always an option. And so I went with this because I really wanted to try it out. Unfortunately, with VDS, they only offer their buffalo leather in the Touch Me line. So you have a limited amount of color options. Not as much of a limited amount nowadays because they did release four new colors or 3 new colors to their Touch Me line that are pretty popular, which is really nice. But anyway, this is equivalent to a pocket, and I used it at the very beginning when I first got it to budget out and do my finances. As you can see with the tabs here in the back and some of the papers, I had like Essen plan inserts. I think majority of my inserts are from Essen plans. Yes, like the expense tracker and everything, but I just can't work out of this. So I kept everything in here. Put it away for about 4 months, and then I brought it back out recently and felt like, oh, this would be perfect to have as a wallet. So that's what I'm using it for. I've decided to get these pocket Filofax plastic cards to put in my cards, and these are like where I'm putting most of my used credit cards in the back, and then some of my extra cards on here, and then my reward cards in the front. I also have like any change will go in here, and then receipts and cash will go in the back. Right now, mainly receipts because I usually use credit cards and cards and things like that. I think this is a great option. I really love this size as a wallet. I don't think I could ever plan in a pocket size, but it's nice to have a wallet that fits in your hand and isn't too big. So I think this is perfect. The leather is almost like scratch resistant, so I can throw this in my bag and wherever, whichever, however way, and still have a really nice presentable leather. So that is my second one. The next one I purchased was my Janet Leather Brown, and I decided, because this isn't a Touch Me and I wanted a codex, I didn't want to pay the codex price, so I ended up customizing a ring bound planner without the rings. And I went through Petra, who is lovely. She is very responsive and just great to work with because she understands. I know I don't think I could ever imagine myself doing what she does because I would get frustrated with people changing their mind, and I know that's how I am, kind of indecisive at times. And but she's happy to help. She offers suggestions, and she is very knowledgeable in everything with VDS. So I decided on this. This was a standard ring. I think it was a 25 or 30 millimeter ring bound planner that I asked her to make without rings. And so they didn't put in the rings, which was exactly what I wanted, but I mismeasured it. I didn't measure it correctly. The outside is Janet leather, and the inside is like a cream leather. I can't remember the name of it. If I do, it will be on the screen. But I just don't like the cream leather. I don't like it at all. There's these striations that are just not my cup of tea. I don't know what else to say about it. I just don't like it. And the stitching is the brown Janet leather and then white on the outside. So the Janet leather is very beautiful. One of the things I didn't really understand was what it meant by having untreated leather, and I believe the Janet leather brown is the only leather untreated. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I heard. And by untreated, it means that if you were to spill anything on here, the color would change. So initially I had a purse that wasn't a zipper purse, and it was open and water got on it on a rainy day, and it was horrendous. It looked terrible. A few months later, I dropped water, spilled water on it somehow, and it was just like a puddle, and it looked even worse. It was terrible. So then I decided to take a rag and kind of wet it and try to make it all even, and the color was coming off on the rag I was using, and I was using a white rag. Crazy me. Anyway, I'm talking way too much. So this ended up not working. I wanted it to be a B6 size. Obviously, as you can tell, the B6 is the exact same height as this whole notebook, so it won't fit in here unless I were to cut down probably, I don't know, 3 millimeters on each side just to get it to fit. So that kind of turned me off. I was really upset, but I made it work by using a Sakura notebook, which fits in here perfectly. And because the Sakura notebook is a thicker, it has a thicker cover, it does fit in here perfectly. So I was able to use that and make it work. Right now it is resting in its box until the next time I use it. But Janet Leather Brown has a very interesting, really unique texture, which is why I think so many people love the color. But it's one of those that I feel like you really need to take care of it before I jump on another Janet Leather Brown. I would have to make sure that I want it for all the right reasons. The next one is this one, and I've talked about this in a couple of other videos. This is the Velvet Matte Croco in the Sakura, and it is a beautiful pink color. And I specifically asked for the pebbling to be, the small pebbling to be on the strap, and to have the large pebbling on the right side, and I really like how it looks. Now, this is a ring bound planner. This is not the planner I am in. This is an A6 size, which is also called a senior. These are the smaller of the senior rings. You usually get two options, and this was the 20 millimeter rings. Yes, I did not get a big back pocket, which I find that I don't always use. I mean, if it's a wallet, I would most likely use the big back pocket, but I felt like I didn't need one, and I'm so happy I didn't get it because it's really slim, and it will stay slim. And yeah, so I really like this color. The leather is still very velvety. I have noticed that on the edge here on the spine, there is a little bit of darker shade, and I don't know if that's just something that happens over time. I know that the back spine does touch more often when I lift it, and I tend to grab it here, so it's also being touched by my hand. So that's just something I noticed You probably can't even see it that well. I don't know. I think someone else had mentioned the same thing somewhere on Instagram or on the VDS group, and that they were going to ask Petra how to clean it or how to keep it from happening. And I think you may have to use some type of leather protectant on it. For me right now, it is being protected in a sleeve since I'm not using it, but I really love this color and I can't wait to pull it back out during like the springtime. So also what came in at the exact same time as the Sakura is the Stardust. So this is the matte velvet croco Stardust color. I could be saying that in the wrong order. This is a codex. I asked Petra for the best dimensions for a codex, and I kind of squish it down just a tad. And she came through. I did get the pen loop, and I did get the pen loop on the Sakura as well. This was the Takuker, and I still have yet to finish this notebook, but it is my journal, was my journal, and I still have to go back to it. But I just got like basic configuration, card slots on the left, another slot on the right, and then you just stick in your book. I did not get a back pocket, and I also asked for the same type of pattern on this one with the small pattern on the strap. So this one feels exactly the same as the Sakura. It's just, everything's exactly the same, it's just a different color. So it depends on what color you want or what color you're looking for. Next is my Poussiere. I think that's how you say it. So this is a grayish, I want to say gray cream tone. It's like a mixture of gray and cream. And I don't really see many people with this VDS. I always see like the pink and then the other, I forgot the name of the other leather that it's similar to this, but I think it's a little bit cooler. And this one's a little bit warmer. But this is also a Touch Me. This is a senior Touch Me, and I got the 25mm rings on this one so you could see how much I can stuff it. This is currently my everyday planner. I am planning in an A6 now and into 2020, so I actually just changed into this cover from another cover, and yeah, I mean, I really like it. It's one of the things you kind of have to get used to with this leather is that it is a little bit not as structured. So you kind of have to put things to keep it more structured unless you want it to be less structured. I keep saying structured. How many times can I say it? When I compare it to the pocket, I think the pocket is perfect because it's smaller, and with the zipper on the front and the secretarial pockets, it doesn't seem as floppy when you put just a few things in it. But when it comes to, when you get a little bit bigger, it seems like things get a little bit more floppier. I think one thing I would change, or I wish they would add this as an option, is to sew this part to where there's only one secretarial flap in the back. And I feel like if this was sewn, it wouldn't be as floppy to me. I don't know why. Maybe it would, but that's just my opinion. I don't really care that much for secretarial pockets, so I just like an actual pocket you could stick things in. I really, really, really love the A6 size. It is so portable. It is still wide enough to be able to put your hand on the page and write at the same time, which is one of the issues I was having with a standard personal size. And it's still kind of small. Like it can fit in your hands if you have, good size, not too small of hands. Like you could still carry it with one hand without feeling too much weight on your wrist. I'm not going to go through because I've already gone through my A6 planner in another video, but this is what I'm using. Again, this is the Touch Me, so you get the exact same configuration as you would in the pocket I explained earlier. I do have papers in the big back pocket. I have noticed that if you put really thick papers, which I had like 3 sets of thick papers back here, I had to take a set out because it was hard to fold over. So just keep that in mind, especially if you have your pockets filled up, that some things make it a little hard to fold, and you may not be able to stuff your big back pocket as well, which is one of the reasons why I don't always think a big back pocket is necessary. So my everyday carry in the Poussiere color, I'm going to show you 2 recent new BDSs. This is the reason why this video is a little bit late, because I wanted to wait until my new planners arrived, or my planner covers. So first one is the Parme. Everyone says Parme, but I feel like it's Parm. I feel like the name is Parm. I don't know. I need to ask Petra about it. But I decided to go with this because I do like the A6 size. I have a lot of A6s, and I wasn't so sure about this color. Everyone and their mom has this color, it seems like. And every time I see it on Instagram, I'm like, it's cute, but is it really that pretty? And now that I have one of my own, I'm going to say yes. Like, as soon as I pulled it out and touched it, it's amazing. It is so amazing. And funny thing is that it feels different than this Touch Me leather, and it feels different than this Touch Me leather, and it's so many. Okay, so these two feel the same to me, but this one feels so much different, and I think it's because of the leather pattern that I specifically asked for. I put in my description that I wanted the pattern to have large bumps and large spaces of like color. I don't know if you could see how the color is kind of separated. There's a lot of white spaces in between the pink, and I really like that when I saw others. And I would see the Parme kind of like this with just one solid color. Then I would see it really textured. Trying to show you how textured it could be. Okay, so you could see all that texture. This is what I say, it feels exactly how it looks. Super, like, not bumpy, but just very textured. You could feel some of the grooves in the leather, and I love it. I love this. I'm kind of like, I'm happy, but I'm kind of a little bit disappointed that I didn't go all out in this custom, because it took like a whole month to get here. So now I'm trying to contemplate whether or not I want to get it in the A6 with the same exact like pattern. But I think I am. I think I will, because I really love the way this feels more than I like the way that like the solid color feels. So this is my journal. This is my A6 journal, and next year I do plan to use this A6. I am glad that I didn't get the strap on this one, because it reminds me of before the rings, before Gilio, before VDS, before the strap, of how I just had a folio. Very basic, simple, open it up, write in it. Nothing is blocking your writing, because everything will just lie flat for the most part. So nothing blocks. Okay, sorry, I was not in focus. It was jumping around. But yeah, so I'm glad that it's very simple. But now I think I'm ready to either get it in the pocket or the A6. I'm not sure what I would do, because if I do it in a pocket, it would be for a wallet. If I do it in the A6, it would be for an actual planner. And I use both of them, or at least I have been using this one lately. So what should I do? I'm not sure. I think it would look really cute in a small pocket, but then it would be really nice to be able to carry it around everywhere. I did get this one in the white stitching, which can't even tell there's white stitching. It's kind of hidden. It almost looks like it's pink. I think it would be interesting to see what it would look like with black stitching, but that's just me talking, just thinking. Anyway, let me show you what it looks like in comparison to the Sakura. So definitely, I think what you would say, it's cooler toned pink, but it's so pretty. I mean, together you're kind of like, you either like one or the other, but when you have them separated, like, they look really great on their own. So it just feels so nice, and it's just compact. It, folds over, no issue. I really like how they stand up, no issue. That's in general for VDS. Yeah, this leather is just awesome. If you've been on the edge trying to decide, I think you should go for it. I think you would be really happy with this parme, or parm, however you say it. Okay, so that's not the end. The other one I received at the same time as my parm is this one. This is the black croc, and this is also a codex. I did add on a strap, and then I also added on the pen loop. And I am going to be honest, I'm actually a little disappointed with this croc, because I hope I said that. I said croc leather. I didn't say the other word. But it just feels really fake to me. I don't know. It feels, obviously it's printed, but it just feels so, it doesn't feel like leather to me, to be honest. It really doesn't feel like leather. It is squishy. Even the parm has a little bit of squishiness, but this one has a lot more squishiness to it. But it's just the feel. I don't know if it gets better over time, and I don't know if this is all their, like, matte, not matte, but their shiny, like, croc leather, if they all feel the same, because now I know for sure that this is not what I want to get anymore. I think I would probably stick with some of the other leathers. But anyway, the nice thing about these leathers, the codex for the A6, is that they accommodate like up to 2 books. So this is a Hobonichi Techo full year, and then this is one of the Hobonichi books that are just blank. And when it's by itself, it can accommodate the size. So there's quite a bit of space here. And it's not bad, it just makes the planner a little bit more squishy. But then you can even add more. You can add passport, add something else here, and it fits like absolutely perfect with another book in there. So you have a lot of room to grow with this size. And I think what helps it is having a strap that keeps it closed. If I were to do this with my parm, I don't know, I feel like it probably wouldn't stay closed well. Obviously I need to take that out, but yeah, I don't think it would act the same or feel as good in your hands. I think you would need a strap to be able to accommodate an extra book, and then for it to close together and just be very filled and, feel good. But anyway, this is standard configuration as the parm. So you do get this pocket here, a pocket here, some card slots, and then two pockets or two like side pockets here. I did add the pen loop and then the strap. I did not add a big back pocket because, you know, I don't always think it's necessary. Same with this one, no big back pocket. I wanted it pretty flush and straightforward. I would say you do have room for smaller side tabs if you wanted to, but yeah, I mean, it's not overwhelmingly a large amount of space here. It's like the perfect amount, in my opinion. Those are my last two that I've added to my collection. And I'm still iffy on this one, but I am in love with this one. I will say that not once have I ever modified the strap to be longer. So all my straps are standard. And the only thing I've done is like increase the height and increase the width. And then buy the ones, the touch me's that are already pre-made. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and was able to kind of see all the different leathers that I have and like. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the description box below. I hope this video wasn't too long and boring. I'm sure if it was boring, you probably would not be here to the very end. And for those of you who probably did enjoy it, thank you. Please don't forget to give me a like and to subscribe to my channel if you are new. And I will catch you guys all in the next video. Bye!